Trump appeared at the first night of the Republican convention. He accepts the nomination on Thursday night, only 5 days after the gunfire in Pennsylvania. And he stood for the first time with his new running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Rachel Scott starts us off from the convention floor in Milwaukee. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. 48 hours after surviving an attempted assassination, former President Donald Trump became the Republican nominee for the third time. He made a surprise appearance here just right off of the convention floor, escorted into this arena by some of the very Secret Service agents that rushed him off that stage in Pennsylvania.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Overnight, in his first appearance in surviving an attempted assassination, Donald Trump entering the Republican National Convention with a white bandage over his right ear. And standing shoulder to shoulder with his new running mate, first-term Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. The Republican Party rallying around Trump after that shooting, repeating the very words he said as Secret Service rushed him off the stage. And Trump's speech expected to be dramatically different, too. He's now rewriting his remarks to focus on unity. In the first night of the convention, Republicans trying to appeal to a broader base, featuring several black speakers, including model and reality TV star Amber Rose.
American families were better when Donald Trump was president.
And a primetime speech from Teamsters President Sean O'Brien, the first boss from the powerful union to address Republicans.
At the end of the day, the Teamsters are not interested if you have a D, R, or an I next to your name. We want to know one thing. What are you doing to help American workers?
Hours earlier, the former president became the official Republican nominee for the third time. His sons Don Jr. and Eric and daughter Tiffany putting him over the top in the roll calls.
Hereby declaring him the Republican nominee for President of the United States of America.
It came just minutes after Trump announced Senator Vance as his running mate. Sources tell us Trump broke the news to Vance just 20 minutes before he told the world. The senator and his wife Usha taking a victory lap on the convention floor.
J.D., 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 J.D.
At 39 years old, Vance would be one of the youngest vice presidents in American history, elected to his first term in the Senate just 2 years ago. A Marine who served in Iraq, Vance then graduating from Yale Law School. A former venture capitalist, his working class memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, a bestseller. He was once a critic of Trump.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place.
But the senator says Trump's performance in office proved him wrong.
I don't hide from that. I was certainly skeptical of Donald Trump in 2016, but President Trump was a great president and he changed my mind.
He became one of the former president's most outspoken defenders and a close friend of his son, Don Jr.
What are you hoping that he brings to this ticket?
The same energy he's brought Republicans in the United States Senate.
Another Republican who was once very critical of Donald Trump, his former rival Nikki Haley. The former South Carolina governor once called Donald Trump a disaster. Well, tonight we've learned she is expected to address the Republican National Convention. She originally was not part of this lineup, but after the shooting, that changed, George.